Zacchaeus is standing in his own house, surrounded by people who already think they know what kind of man he is. He is rich. He is a chief tax collector. And then, in one public moment, money stops being something he can simply possess and becomes something he has to answer for. Luke 19, verse 8 records his response. I give half of my possessions to the poor, and if I have cheated anybody out of anything, I will pay back 4 times the amount. In plain English, Zacchaeus is not making a vague promise to become nicer. He is putting generosity and restitution next to his money. And the most important part of this story is not that rich people must copy his percentages. It is what happens when income, integrity, and repair collide.
Before this story ends, you will see why the 4 times repayment matters, why Jesus does not turn this into a formula for getting richer, and how to examine your own side income without living in fear or guilt. Zacchaeus begins in Jericho. Luke tells you he is a chief tax collector and wealthy. That is what the text explicitly gives you. It does not list every transaction he ever made, so you should not invent a criminal record for him. But his occupation carried enormous social suspicion, and the crowd calls him a sinner when Jesus chooses to stay at his house. Then Zacchaeus himself raises the possibility of having cheated people. So what happens when the money coming in looks successful, but the way it is earned may need examination? Stage 1 is the uncomfortable look at the source. You can have side income that is real money and still need to ask whether the method is right. Maybe you sell a service. Maybe you freelance. Maybe you resell products. Maybe you run a small online business. The first question is not only, did I get paid? It is, what did I promise in order to get paid? Did you describe the product honestly? Did you deliver what you agreed to deliver? Did you hide a fee, exaggerate a result, use someone else's work without permission, or pressure a customer with information you knew was misleading? That is not anti-business. That is business with a conscience. Luke does not teach that earning well is automatically wrong. Zacchaeus' wealth is mentioned, but the turning point centers on how he responds to God and to other people. Your income amount and your income integrity are not the same question. Stage 2 is where conviction becomes concrete. Zacchaeus does not say, I feel terrible, and stop there. He names actions. Half to the poor, fourfold repayment if he has cheated anyone. That fourfold language has a biblical background. Exodus 22 verse 1 includes fourfold restitution in a theft case involving a sheep. Leviticus 6 also shows that fraud and wrongful taking required restitution with additional compensation in specified cases. In plain English, biblical repentance could include repairing measurable harm, not merely admitting that harm happened.
But be careful here. Luke does not say Zacchaeus was calculating a modern legal formula for every tax dispute, and this passage does not give you a universal Christian percentage for business refunds. The principle is simpler and harder. When your gain came through someone else's loss because you acted dishonestly, integrity asks what repair should look like.
What if you made a mistake rather than intentionally deceiving someone? Then the response may be different. A mistaken invoice, unclear scope, failed delivery, or accidental overcharge should not automatically be treated like deliberate fraud. Circumstances matter. And if your side hustle is barely surviving, this is not a command to punish yourself financially for every imperfect decision. The goal is honest repair, not self-destruction.
Stage 3 is the difference between generosity and restitution. You can give money away and still owe somebody else money. Those are not interchangeable. If you overcharged a client by $50, donating $50 to charity does not necessarily repair the client's loss. If you borrowed equipment and damaged it through your negligence, generosity somewhere else does not erase the responsibility sitting in front of you. Do you see the distinction?
If this is making your money situation feel clearer, subscribe if you haven't yet, and comment "Income with Integrity" as a reminder that how you earn matters alongside how much you earn. Zacchaeus mentions both. Giving to the poor addresses generosity. Repaying anyone he cheated addresses restitution. One opens your hand. The other attempts to repair a specific wrong. That distinction can protect your side income from a dangerous habit, using good financial behavior to excuse bad financial behavior. You cannot say, "I tithe, so the misleading sales claim is fine." You cannot say, "I help my family, so I do not need to correct an invoice I knowingly inflated." A good use of money does not cleanse a dishonest source. Stage 4 is where the story becomes bigger than bookkeeping. Jesus responds in Luke 19 verses 9 and 10 by declaring that salvation has come to the house, and by saying that the Son of Man came to seek and save the lost. In plain English, the center of the story is salvation, not a technique for wealth creation. Zacchaeus is not buying salvation by giving money away, and Jesus does not promise that returning money will multiply his wealth. What you do see is a changed relationship with money appearing alongside a changed response to Jesus. That matters. If you have been thinking, "Once the business grows, then I will worry about doing everything properly," growth usually makes your existing habits more expensive. A small integrity problem at 10 customers can become a much larger problem at 1,000. So use what I call the UnBound Faith Clear Income Check. C is claim. What exactly did you promise the customer or buyer? L is legitimacy. Was the offer, price, ownership, and method honest and lawful where you live? E is effect. Did somebody lose money, time, property, or informed choice because you misled them? A is amend. If you caused a specific wrong, what reasonable repair, refund, correction, apology, or professional advice is appropriate? R is route. Once the income is cleanly earned, where should it go so it does not simply disappear? That final step connects integrity to stewardship. You can route some side income toward taxes where applicable, business costs, savings, debt repayment, giving, reinvestment, or spending according to your situation. The percentages will vary by country, income, obligations, and goals. Here is one simple action for today. Pick your most recent side income transaction and run it through Clear. One transaction, 5 questions, no shame spiral. If everything was honest, let that give you confidence to keep building. If something needs correction, make the next responsible move you can actually make. And if the issue is legal, tax-related, contractual, or large enough to materially affect you, get qualified local advice rather than guessing. Zacchaeus' story does not tell you that money is dirty. It shows you that money can reveal where integrity needs to become visible. Not guilt for earning, responsibility for how you earn. Not performative generosity, honest repair where repair is owed. And not fast money at any cost. Income you can manage with a clear conscience. If someone you love feels trapped by this money problem, send this to them. A clear next step can replace a lot of shame.